Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on The Winter's Tale and we've made it to Act 2. Hooray! But guess who we get to hear from today? Leontes, again, in Act 2, Scene 1. So Leontes is convinced that his wife Hermione is cheating on him with his best friend Polixenes, who is also the king of Bohemia. So he ordered Camillo to poison Polixenes, but Polixenes and Camillo ran into each other. Camillo spilled the beans, knows that he's going to get fired and or killed for having spilled the beans. So he helps Polixenes and all of Polixenes' people get out of Sicilia like really quickly in the middle of the night and goes with, so now he can be in Polixenes' service instead of in Leontes' service. So that was Act 1, Scene 2. And meanwhile, it's important to note, yet again, Hermione is pregnant with Leontes' child at this point. They have a kid together named Mamilius, who's of an indeterminate age. Some people say like maybe younger than 7, maybe around that age. And probably the most important thing is that Hermione and Polixenes have not been sleeping together. The only reason that Leontes thinks they are is because he asked Hermione to ask Polixenes to stay, and then Polixenes decided to stay. So this is the quote-unquote proof that Leontes has of this whole affair. So Act 2, Scene 1, we start out with Hermione and Mamilius, her son, and a couple ladies in waiting, and Hermione is like, please take him, I can't deal with him right now. And then Mamilius gets to do the whole thing of, I like you better than her, and your eyebrows are this color, and what color are your eyebrows? And one of them's like, my eyebrows are blue, and he's like, you're kidding. And they all sit down, and Hermione asks Mamilius to start telling her a story, because apparently he's really good at telling stories. And he says, do you want a merry one or a sad one? And she's like, as merry as you want. And he says that sad tales are best for winter, which is probably where the title of this play came from. It is sort of a sad tale. If you can't tell by the fact that Leontes has gone completely bonkers and wants to kill his best friend and perhaps do mean things to his wife, though he promised he wouldn't do mean things to his wife in exchange for Polixenes being killed. So anyway, Mamilius starts telling a story. He's like, I have a good spooky story, and it has like spirits and ghosts in it. And they're like, okay, great. And he shares like the first 2 sentences of this story, and then Leontes comes storming in with some of his lords, and he's like, you saw them go? You saw them leave? And the lord is like, yeah, I've never seen people scuttle out of here faster than that. And Leontes says, how blessed am I in my just censure, in my true opinion. Alack, for lesser knowledge, how accursed in being so blessed. There may be in the cup a spider steeped, and one may drink, depart, and yet partake no venom, for his knowledge is not infected. But if one present the abhorred ingredient to his eye, make known how he hath drunk, he cracks his gorge, his sides with violent hefts. I have drunk and seen the spider. Camillo was his help in this, his Pandar. There is a plot against my life, my crown. All's true that is mistrusted. That false villain whom I employed was pre-employed by him. He has discovered my design, and I remain a pinched thing, yea, a very trick for them to play at will. How came the postern so easily open? So Leontes is really losing it at this point. It's just getting worse. The first half of this monologue is basically along the lines of ignorance is bliss. The whole bit about the spider, he's like, if you drink from a cup that a spider's in and you don't know about it, then no worries. But if you know that you drank the spider, then you're going to try to make yourself vomit the spider back up. And he's like, I drank from the cup and I know there was a spider in it. So this is like, I have the knowledge. If only I didn't have the knowledge of this thing, like I would be better off and I would be happy, but I know this thing. And then he starts to suspect Camillo of arranging the meetings between Polixenes and Hermione. He thinks that Camillo was sent in to work for him as like a double agent who already worked for Polixenes. he's like, and all this is going on, I'm finding out about it, and I'm just like sitting here tortured, and they're still just playing with me. Like, how did they get out of the city so easily? And the lords are like, well, you know, he has access to all of them, so he was able to just get out of here. So then Leontes goes over and takes Mamilius, takes his son, like grabs him away from Hermione, and is like, you know, you should not be around her. This can't be a thing. You like get away from her. She's evil. And Hermione is like, what? And he's like, yeah, for like you and your lover Polixenes. And she's like, you're not making any sense. And of course he has a retort, which will be tomorrow's monologue. So we'll see you then for that. We're gonna get to hear from Leontes again. You're gonna know him real well by the time this play is done. I'll see you tomorrow for more. Mwah.